All right, guys. Welcome to the newest episode of Happy Hour here on the Filmaholic channel. I'm Matthew, and this is Abel over here. His lighting was done by the people that made Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. So this is, once again, another episode of Happy Hour. So we're breaking down some movie news that's happened over the past week. The biggest movie news that I guess we can talk about today is, of course, Batman. The Batman test footage came out last night. Matt Reeves tweeted out, and it also had, I think the best part of this was the score by Michael Giacchino that played along with the footage, which I assume is probably going to be like the main Batman score in this. I really liked it. I really liked the score. The suit itself, I liked the chess piece, whatever that is going on. It reminded me of those Arkham games, which is, I feel like it's going to be a very modern Batman. I didn't mind how much the mask showed his actual bottom half of his face. I know a lot of people are trying to compare it to Daredevil. What I did not like about it was, and you couldn't really tell it this much on the footage that he released, but I know some other people took that and brightened it so you could look at it more. And the mask, you can see the stitching and stuff, and it looks like almost just like something leather you could go and buy at the store, like a cosplay type thing. I didn't like it with that lighting turned up and how it looked. So I'm curious, is this the final version, or is it simply a test of whatever? I would think it's pretty close to what we're actually going to get, though, because the movie's filming now. So I don't feel like there can be that many changes moving forward. One thing, though, that we didn't see in this was the bat ears. We didn't get any glimpse of that. So we don't know, and that kind of changes the whole look of the mask. Is it going to be long? Is it going to be short? Kind of in the middle. The last version we got with Ben Affleck obviously was short, which was very different from anything we've seen before on the big screen, because most of the ones in the past were about the same size. They were about average. And we know in the comics there's also versions where super long. So that could really put a different spin on it as well. What did you think of Bill?
I liked the suit. I liked it. Same thing I'm with you with the Arkham game suit. I probably think it's gonna be one of his first suits, and he's probably gonna upgrade midway through the movie or something.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking of. Is even in the movie, or if not in this film, in the second one, when they make that down the line, I think the suit will be even more. It just depends on where he is, Bruce Wayne and Batman in the film, how old he is, how long he's been Batman. We know this is earlier. But I think it's not just when he starts. I'm thinking it's probably about a year after he's been Batman, but maybe not. Yeah, so I'm curious about that.
Plus, doesn't this movie take place in the 90s?
I don't think so. I think it's modern day.
Well, if it just takes not in the 90s in the suit, it's kind of all right, okay, cool.
I would love it if it takes place in the 90s. I know that was a rumor, but that rumor was only there, I think, because they thought this was going to be some sort of tie-in prequel to Ben Affleck's Batman. And if that was the case, then it would have to be in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know. I think it'd be very cool direction if they wanted to do that, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be modern day, because we haven't got any signal so far that it's going to be in the 90s, from filming and stuff. But I know I read some comments, and some other people were commenting how they didn't like the bat ears weren't on the symbol on his suit, which that isn't there. But that's something, too, that I think maybe in the future when he upgrades the suit, that little addition might be added. And I don't think that's a big deal anyways. And as far as, I want to know what that symbol's made out of. Is that something he's going to, use in the film to, take off and, throw, batarangs? Or I know that a theory that somebody said was they thought that piece was part of the gun that killed his parents, which is really dark and interesting.
I don't know, man. He's Batman. He's a businessman as well, so I'm pretty sure he can put a lot of his time into getting the symbol done. You know, he has investments to deal with, fighting crime, and I'm pretty sure like the logo is like the last thing of his worries right now.
I'm really curious what we're gonna see next moving forward. Like, I feel like I read recently where they were pretty soon they're gonna film a scene where I think the Batmobile is gonna be in it. So like we're gonna see that for the first time, like at least through leaked photos. And I'm really curious like what that version of the Batmobile is gonna be like, because you have the old movies, you have the very realistic modern Nolan Batmobile, the Tumbler, and then you have Ben Affleck's version in Batman vs Superman, which that was actually my favorite so far of the Batmobiles. So I wonder what this one will be and how it'll be different from those. I feel like it has to be more in line with the Affleck version and stuff like that, because otherwise I feel like you're getting too much in the territory of like copying what Nolan's looked like. I don't know.
Or probably put the hat from the Arkham games.
I'm not really familiar with it. I'll have to take a look at what that one looks like. I can't think about it.
Shit. I think it's Arkham City. No. Arkham Knight. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Penguin's going to look like, what Catwoman's going to look like, Riddler, in terms of what we just saw with Batman.
I mean, they're keeping everything under the rug right now. Really, they're doing a really good job keeping everything under the radar. So I don't know, like I'm excited for it. I'm just kind of like it's like going to a strip club and only showing you a bit, but you want to see everything. That's how it feels. Like I'm excited, but it's just like all right.
I'm hopeful that this turns the DC movies around, but I think I think this will be good, but I think it's gonna be like this is good, and then the other movies are still shit, and I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna continue to be sloppy with the next few films until we get this version of Batman, and then it's going to be so good critically and fan receiving, and they're again like they always are with these DC films, and they're going to try to like make stuff based off this Batman and in the same universe as this Batman, and then that could be good or it could further mess things up even for this version of Batman. So we'll see.
I don't know, man. I still want to put all my hope into that movie now. I've been disappointed by them way too much.
I don't see like.
I feel like I've been in an abusive relationship, man.
Outside of Justice League, because I mean, I didn't love Batman vs Superman, but I still I liked it. They haven't really disappointed me with Batman, since 2005, anyways. So, because I feel like they get people in there that actually like want to make. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because I feel like everybody who makes a film sort of cares about the characters. They just I don't know. I don't know what's happening over there, how they choose to make their films. Anyways, on to the next topic, and
God damn, at least make Todd Phillips create all this shit at this point.
I don't want to see any Todd Phillips DC movies moving forward. Indiana Jones will be filming this summer. Indiana Jones 5 starts filming this summer with Harrison Ford. He announced that recently while promoting Call of the Wild. This only news we really got. He didn't give any kind of details. He just said that it was starting to film this summer, which means maybe we'll get a title sometime soon. I guess the screenplay is done, which has went through several different writers now. I'm really cautious about this film. I don't really know. I don't know. I am excited to see it. I want to see Indiana Jones 5, but
4.
I don't know if we're having the right people make it anymore. Is Spielberg the right person to come back to do Indiana Jones 5? Or should we have gotten a new director in there?
I don't know. I think Steven Spielberg. Yeah, his time is coming. I would just like cut him and get another one. To be honest,
I'm not sure when the last film, because Oh my gosh, cut that. His dramatic stuff that he's put out recently has not been bad. Like The Post, Bridge of Spies, like they were good. They weren't like award worthy, I don't think, but they were fine. It's just retelling, it's just historical biopics and stuff like that. But Lincoln, um, but I don't know. He hasn't made a great movie, in my opinion, since 2002 with Catch Me If You Can. So.
Yeah, and wasn't he supposed to make like a DC movie or something, like Black Hawk or something?
Okay, so yes, but you gotta realize that DC has announced
A lot of stuff, yeah.
probably like 72 films that are not happening, that they were just announced to see, I guess, how people react. I mean, we could run down the whole list. Like that Black Adam movie was announced back in 2013. And we finally getting it next year, I guess. That was that whatever movie you were talking about that was a World War II film, supposed to be directed by Spielberg. There was a Nightwing movie, supposed to be directed by, I think his name is Chris McKay, who did the Lego Batman. That movie's not happening. There's a Batgirl movie, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Flash, how many times that's been put on hold. Ben Affleck's Batman movie, Gotham City Sirens. What am I forgetting here? Just naming them off the top of my head. Justice League Dark, The New Gods, which is people are still saying Ava DuVernay's directing that. I don't think that's ever happening.
Yeah, they announced the fucking Plastic Man movie.
They announced that Plastic, yeah, right after we said it on Twitter.
Fuck them.
Yeah, like just
we could have had that bitch.
Oh yeah. There was the Joker film, which happened with Todd Phillips. There was another Joker Harley Quinn movie that was supposed to be made by the guys who made Crazy Stupid Love, with Jared Leto coming back to play Joker. I think there was another Joker movie with just Jared Leto in it, without Harley Quinn, that was supposed to be made. Am I missing anything of that? There was like a bunch of Justice League films that were supposed to be made. It's supposed to be setting up. Yeah, this is. I feel like they have a board over there and they just spin it, and whatever it lands on, they announce. They've slowed down a little bit though, and I think that's why people think they have it together, because they have to stop announcing shit.
But. Too fucking late though. But back to the Indiana Jones. What the hell's gonna be their next thing? Like, I know they've done like, what's it, the little like casket. They've done the getting the heart out of the thing.
Well, the original films were based in I believe the late 1930s and 1940s. I think maybe a couple were in the early 40s, and maybe one was late 30s. But
the last one was in the 40s.
The last one was in.
No. Yeah, correct me. Yeah, the 60s. Yeah, my bad.
Or 50s. I can't remember because it's been a while. I'm gonna rewatch them soon. It was either the late 50s, I think.
I'll say late 50s, early 60s. Because like with the Russians and the greasers.
They had Elvis playing too.
Yeah.
I actually think it was in the 50s. I'm trying to add up the time of that movie came out in 2008. And the last one before that came out in 89. So if you add, I think there was 19 years between.
So probably the new one might be like in the 70s or late 60s.
Yeah. So if the last one was in the late 50s, I assume this one's going to be in about around 1970. So
the soundtracks they can play around with.
I think this one will be Vietnam related. Vietnam, Nixon, all of that will be. I think you'll see all that kind of stuff in this film.
Yeah, but we got to think like, oh shit, I just don't keep up with that like conspiracy stuff anymore. What can they do? I don't know, but yeah.
Oh. Well, we also don't know what the plot is. Is it truly following him the whole film, and is it his movie? Is it just Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford's film, or is it going to be a passing of the torch type film between him and another character, and it's going to be kind of like him and their film. So like his final film and their film, so they could pass the torch. Are we going to see Shia LaBeouf return?
Yeah, he ain't gonna return.
No, he's not coming back. Although I would love it, but yeah, he's definitely not coming back. Definitely not to work with Spielberg either. But if I was in charge over there and I was doing that, if he didn't want to come back, what I would do is I would actually bring that character. Is it Mutt? I guess this is his character's name. I would bring him back, and you could just recast him because it's been another 10, 15 years since the movie actually comes out. That you could add to it. Just recast him. I know people wanted whoever. I'm not a fan of Chris Pratt coming in and doing it. I would rather somebody else. But even if it was, let's just say Chris Pratt for an example. If you bring in Chris Pratt, just have that be Mutt now. Just you change the actors and it be a film about them two again, a mission their own, and have it be like the last mission for Indiana Jones, and then you pass it on to the next character. Or he could have a daughter that we didn't know about because we didn't know about Mutt until the last film. Maybe he has a daughter. Maybe her name is Indiana, and maybe this is a film about him passing it on to her. She becomes the new Indiana Jones. I think that would be cool, actually.
Yeah, I'd rather just give them to another person that's not family related.
See, I'm not for that.
That's how he got hit.
Well, then you got to call it something else, though. It can't be called Indiana Jones. And then that's like a marketing thing. Is like, I mean, if you want to do that and you want to pass it on to a different person, I'm fine with that. But you can't call it Indiana Jones anymore.
I mean, it's just kind of like I don't want that shit with the Skywalker thing. Like I don't want to like keep dragging something on and on and on with a bloodline. No, it's just like all right.
I don't know. I mean, with Star Wars is a little bit different because Star Wars is,
shit. That's what I meant.
The Star Wars saga is about the Skywalkers, but Star Wars in general can be anything. But Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones. So if you want to tell a different story, you can make a movie about a different character. But I don't want it to be called Indiana Jones because then you're just slapping the title on it, even though it's not that, just to make money. That's stupid.
Oh.
Which the first Indiana Jones was not called Indiana Jones; it was called Raiders of the Lost Ark. So if you wanted to continue films like that and slap a different name on it or whatever, that's fine. But
I would just go with another person. Just go with a title, like I don't know, like the Look for the Lost Colony, something like that. But I don't know. Like we've seen that stuff with them passing it down a bloodline and stuff. I'm just kind of like, all right, let's just pass it down to some random kid.
It's not for me.
You like creativity, son. That's why. I'm just messing with you.
For me, stuff like that, and it occasionally works, and the same thing goes with the passing of the torch. But to me, it's like if you want to pass it on to somebody else who's not related, that's each creator's personal thing if they want to do that. But to me, it's like, why continue this story then go off and make something else original and don't do this? So, but yeah, I don't know. I think a female lead, whether it's his daughter or niece or what have you, new character. I think a female lead in these films could be cool.
Well, we haven't had anything to show that's going to be a female lead. Like, we don't even know who the hell it's going to be, whether male or female, so we have nothing.
We don't know anything. I mean, it could just be another Harrison Ford. He could be the lead the whole film and it not be a passing of the torch.
I don't know. I'd rather just them to end that thing, man, because I actually enjoy these movies, and I don't want them to like continue this shit anymore. To be honest, there's plenty of stuff to continue, but knowing Disney, they're gonna do something.
It's Lucasfilm, and Lucasfilm doesn't own that many properties outside of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So, I mean, I feel like they're gonna try to set up a new franchise with this final concluding one for him, but we'll see.
Just end the thing. That's it. I actually enjoy these movies. I rewatch them every Christmas, so no.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, God damn it, man. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll say Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's a good one. Last Crusade's my favorite. Yeah. All right, next story, and this kind of goes into the Spielberg kind of territory again. Um, some casting came out for Jurassic World 3 or Jurassic Park 6, whatever you want to call it. Jake Johnson and Omar Sy is returning for their roles that they previously played in Jurassic World. Um, this is kind of cool. I mean, Jake Johnson played, the computer guy. I thought he was a really good part in Jurassic World. He was funny. He brought some, humor to this kind of film that the dialogue was. Um, I think he should have been in more of it, and I think they should have brought him back for the sequel. Although I don't know how you would have incorporated him in the sequel, but I'm glad he's coming back for this one. Omar Sy was, I'm pretty sure he was Chris Pratt's character's partner with the Raptors. So I'm curious how big a role they'll have in the film. I'm thinking pretty small. But, Colin Farrell is coming back to direct this one, so I'm sure he wants to bring. It's kind of like J.J. Abrams when he came back to make Rise of Skywalker. He brought back a lot of people that were in the last film, or his first film, back to this one. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Shit, God forbid him say on Twitter, "I will fix this."
Well, the last Jurassic World sucked, so I don't think it'll be any worse. The next topic is they announced they are making Aladdin 2. They're a sequel to the live-action Disney version of Aladdin, and they're working on getting the script, I guess, together now, and they're working on trying to incorporate Will Smith's genie into it. I surprisingly liked Aladdin, actually, the live-action version. So I'm not completely against a sequel, and they have the sequel animated film, so they can take that and just play around with it, add some new stuff, cherry pick what they want.
They said it's gonna be an original story, but I think they're going to do something from the sequel.
From what I remember, and I don't remember a whole lot of those films, I remember the first sequel was Return of the Jafar, and I don't think that one was that great. And then the third one was Prince of Thieves or something like that, and I think that one was good from what I remember. So maybe they can just do more with that instead. I think it was like Aladdin's dad. It was like some stuff with that, and it could be interesting instead of going back to Jafar again. But I also don't know how you bring Will Smith's genie back, because if you've seen the film, he gets freed at the end. Hey, I don't remember in the animated.
They said it's gonna be an original story, so.
Yeah, but he's free. Do we need to see him go back and become the genie again, or is he going to come back and play the human version of himself again?
Oh, he's just himself again.
So yeah, I hope so, but I doubt it. I feel like they're going to make him turn back into the genie and kind of mess up what they did with the first film.
I don't know.
But hey, I don't know.
Not everything can last forever.
I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. The last topic here is the trailer and the poster and everything came out for the French Dispatch, Wes Anderson's new film, which we just watched before we started this video. I'm excited for it. The trailer didn't do much for me because it was just everything I expected from a Wes Anderson film. It looks very well directed. The dialogue looks quirky and nice.
I love that shit.
I love the cinematography, the color palettes that he uses. He's got a great cast. I'm excited to see Benicio del Toro in there.
I'll cry in my office.
Bill Murray coming back, so obviously nice. And I'm really, really happy we get to see Owen Wilson come back in a Wes Anderson film. It's nice to see him back on the screen in a good property or a good film. The last thing I saw him in theaters was that Bastards movie. What was it called? It was originally called Bastards, and then they changed the title to something else. I don't remember, but it was just pure shit. But it was funny. It's funny. Yeah. Not in the way they planned, but
Uh, the last almost movie I remember is with him being like, what is it when they're trying to look for their dad?
That's Bastards, but it's called something else.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, I don't, yeah, but all I remember is going. I was like, how the hell is Terry Bradshaw in this? You're a four-time Super Bowl winner, and you go through this. I was like, dog. Never mind. But yeah, that movie was trash.
Other figures. That's what
It,
they changed the title.
it was an experience though. Just seeing the movie.
J.K. Simmons was in this too. Oscar winner J.K. Simmons was in this.
Look, you had an Oscar winner, you had a four-time Super Bowl winner, you had a dude that was acting in this pretty solid movies in his career. You had Christopher Walken. I don't fucking know, man. You have Owen Wilson, which he's basically like Adam Sandler in a way.
I don't know. Kind
Well,
of.
like I said in a way,
Okay.
but I don't fucking man. I don't know. I don't want to talk about the movie anymore. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Want the goddamn poster. I'm gonna see that shit. I like that kind of style of movies. I just figured if I was like a fucking director, I think that'd be my style right there. Well, it's either that because I'm just a quirky person. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. It doesn't look like it because I'm running from 3 hours of sleep, but I'm excited for it.
All right, guys. That's our episode of the Happy Hour this week. We'll be back next week with another episode for you guys. Check it out.